Hello everyone. It's day 2 of our Erasmus Plus Writing Challenge. I'm Julia Marcus, co-facilitator of this challenge and also a co-founder of Erasmus Plus Youth Academy, the part of which you are right now. And today's topic is extremely important. Today we'll be talking about how to find the problem. Because guys, let me share a very big secret with you. If there is no problem, there is no solution. Yeah, it works similar to coaching. If someone, and I'm a coach, if someone comes to me and there is no real problem, no matter what we do and how great I am as a coach, there won't be any solution and any improvement. Same about the projects. If you really don't tackle any problem, then what's the point? Then it turns into doing for the sake of doing. And I really encourage you to avoid so. Plus, there is another thing. If you just do for the sake of doing, most probably your project won't be approved. I did this mistake in the past. I was working for an organization in Croatia many years ago, 5 years ago. And what was happening, I was very new to the projects. You know what kind of projects I was writing? Hey guys, I want to make a coaching training for youth workers. And the need I see is that actually coaching is a very cool tool, but coaching trainings are expensive in Europe. No, that's not it. Today I will guide you step by step into a 4 steps, let me say, methodology of how to really find your problem. One more thing, yeah, today we are not talking about the objectives or aim of the project, yeah? Why so? Because they require more specifics, more numbers, more research, and in the following days, no worries, you will do it. But today, let's go more into the context and more into, you will see, even a mission. Okay, for this, what I will do, I will share a screen because I know that I will be talking a lot. So first step, I would say that the topic of your project should be defined based on the type of project you are thinking to develop. Remember, Anna was telling you yesterday that there are youth exchanges and mobility of youth workers, which have quite different objectives. And if we're talking about youth exchanges, one important thing to remember is that youth exchanges are developed by young people. In youth exchanges, young people come together, they develop idea, and then they implement. Whereas in mobility of youth workers, this is about more organization and needs of individuals who are very much in the youth work. So in this case, I suggest 2 different approaches to defining the problem. Or even first, not the problem, but the topic of interest. So first thing, yeah, define the topic based on the interest of young people or activities of your organization. So what can be useful here? First of all, to brainstorm. Imagine that you have a group of young people, and I will tell you a real story. Right now, we have 4 ESC volunteers in our organization. And what they did, they came together, they started to brainstorm, okay, what are we interested in? What kind of youth exchange we want to organize? Yes, and as a young person, you don't need to know from the very beginning all the priorities of Erasmus Plus program and so on and so forth. Yeah, it all starts with, okay, what is my interest? Yeah, and here the interest is about putting something wide. Yeah, don't get busy with numbers and so on and so forth. What can be supporting here? Yeah, like interest, I mean, okay, I'm interested in art, or I'm interested, I don't know, like in education, I'm interested in ecology and so on and so forth. So what can be helpful here is like if you're a little bit lost and you don't know, yeah, like where to go, what can be helpful is actually opening the, give me a moment, even opening the application form, and then they have a list of topics. Yeah, so if as young people you're like not sure where to start, you can go here and it's like, okay, creativity, arts and culture, that's it. Or cultural heritage, okay, this is what I'm interested in. Or employability, or entrepreneurship, or environment and climate change. Yeah, so what I mean here is that sit down and brainstorm and see what topics you find in common. So what happened to my volunteers, and today I will be referring a lot to them, they sat down and they decided, okay, it's art. Yeah, like we're interested in art and different expressions of art. We're interested in music, we're interested in theater, we're interested in sculpture and so on and so forth. So let's think in the direction of art. When we talk about organizations, yeah, and when we talk about mobilities of youth workers, usually here with the topic, it's very easy, yeah, because as an organization, you work with a certain number of topics. What I mean is that Synergy Bulgaria works with personal development, entrepreneurship, and quality in youth work, yeah, and in the past, we worked with employability. So basically, there we are quite limited, yeah, like we don't go to all the topics in the world. We don't need to go to all the topics of the world. Similar, yeah, like here, you start developing the project, you already know what you're good at, you already know what you want to develop. So once again, the first thing is, okay, define the topic, yeah, the general topic and what it could be. And then what happens next? Yeah, once you know about the topic, so let me say, yeah, art or inclusion, yeah, what problems do you see in this field? Yeah, and here, when you brainstorm with your team or with young people, what is important is to develop hypotheses. If you are a target audience, yeah, and you face the problems yourself, then it might be easier, yeah, to name the problems. But sometimes you do it for other groups of people, and there you cannot be quite sure. So what you can start with hypotheses. So for example, like the project that is being developed now in our organization is inclusion through art. Yeah, where my volunteers want to include art as a form of communication between different groups of people and those facing linguistic and cultural difficulties, migrants, and so on and so forth. And this is a connecting language. So they say, okay, we are talking here about inclusion, about migration. So what problems do we see in the field? Yeah, and then again, brainstorm. This will be your first hypothesis. And once you have your hypothesis, what is important is to find confirmation, because what might happen is that as you see the problems, this could be not quite the problems. I can again share a life story from this very project. When guys started to develop, they're like, let's solve the problem of inclusion of students who go to other countries for semester 2. And then we're like, wait, but is it really actually a problem? No, people don't want to integrate. People want to party with their students. People want to have international experience. People want to stay for one semester and then go home. Yeah, you see, like if you start solving the illusional problem or the problems that you yourself think is valid, you might end nowhere. Yeah, so how do we check hypotheses? So first of all, you can get inspired by Eurostat, and I will not show you the website now, but we will give you the link. And what's cool there is a finder, and then basically you can type like youth unemployment, and you get some statistics and some research papers on this topic. Yeah, and some recommended documents that are there in the guide, and they're talking about EU youth strategy. And of course, as youth workers, we all know engaging, connecting, and empowering young people. And also, if we're talking about youth workers' mobilities, there is a part which is European youth work, and then Agenda 82 for quality, innovation, and recognition of youth work. So my recommendation is to go through these documents. Yeah, go to Eurostat, check your topic. If we're talking about youth exchange, go to EU youth strategy. If you're going in the direction of mobility of youth workers, go to the second document. Also read, get inspired, get more accustomed, yeah, get to know it a little bit more. So when I'm saying here about global context and specific context of target audience, so look, global context is what is happening there. Yeah, this exactly the statistics and so on and so forth. Why do we need it? Because look, we are talking about international mobilities. Yeah, if there is a local problem and it's relevant only, for example, to a neighborhood in Sofia, and this is about, let me say, establishing benches because young people don't have, or old people don't have places to sit, that's not the type of project to develop. Yeah, like you are looking in the direction of international context, so that's why you need confirmation on the level of international context and specific context. This first of all could be also your personal story if you are a target group, or you need to talk to your target groups. It could be, for example, youth workers from young organizations, baby NGOs, grassroots organizations. This could be, if we're talking about inclusion, like young migrants. Yeah, if we're talking about unemployment, for example, recent graduates who struggle to find a job, you will need to talk to them. How to do it and actually how to understand them, their needs and issues, Anna will tell you tomorrow. But it's not rocket science, and she'll even share certain questions and certain methodologies of how you can get to know them. Why? Because based on it, you will first of all develop the whole project, and then you will develop mobility activity. Okay, and here is an interesting thing, yeah? So basically, like, you explored, you researched, and so on and so forth. And what they will ask you in the program, and which is very important, yeah, is to connect it to the objectives of key actions that you're working with. We are working with KA1, key action 1, yes, and if we're talking about youth exchanges, they also have certain objectives. And of course, if you apply for Erasmus Plus grant, they expect, yeah, your objectives overlap with those of youth exchanges. I will not read them out loud now. Those people who registered for our upgrade option, I will also mention a little bit later, they will get this presentation. Otherwise, you can go to the guide, you can find it there. And the same goes to mobility of youth workers. They also have certain objectives in the program, and of course, it's important to connect. We go to the next step, which is shape the mission, wide and inspiring. But let me tell you this thing, yeah? When you're checking the objectives, yeah, and when you have this problem, like, you really need to understand that this problem can be resolved in international mobility. Once again, if it cannot be resolved, if we are talking about changing the policy of like youth work on European level, or if you're talking about recognition of youth work or making it a legitimate profession in certain countries, this is not the objectives for a training course. No, this is not. Yeah, if again, if we are talking about, let me find you the example, I don't know, deforestation or something, and then you want to bring young people not to raise awareness but to resolve it, this is not it. Yeah, so how to use these objectives of youth exchanges and training courses, these are your reference points, yeah, to check, okay, whether it coincides, whether it overlaps or not. If no, think about different granting opportunities. Okay, and once again, the last one is shape the mission, wide and inspiring. As I told you, there will be, let me say, one of the lives when we will shape the whole goal. But for now, I want you to come up with your mission. And how will your mission, like, where will it appear? Yeah, it will appear from the topic and approximate people and the problem that you're resolving. So what I mean is, for example, increase the quality of youth work among baby NGOs in Europe, or encourage dialogue between young people of, I don't know, like different countries on the topic of migration. Yes, or engage young people into something. So create a mission which will be inspiring personally for you. I will stop sharing the screen. That will be inspiring personally for you. And later, taking into account this mission, yeah, we will set down like more specific goals and objectives. When you write a youth exchange, it's very nice to also tell the story, yeah, like to tell the story. Why do you want to carry out this project? Like, why this problem touches you? Why it is important for you to discuss it with other people from other countries? Yes, and it works. Plus, of course, global context, for example, COVID, yeah, it also matters a lot. So basically, if you bring something, not just statistics from 2015, go for more updated statistics, yeah, but something that is happening right now. And I can share the story that it all started last year, mid-March. And for May deadline, we submitted a training course for youth workers called Resilient. And this is about developing basically mostly soft skills of youth workers who are undergoing the change, because there are a lot of questions about their employment, about finances, about unpredictability, and so on and so forth. And oh my God, like we got very high score. We got 87.5. We were very high on the list with this topic, yeah, because we hit the topic, because it was very valid at that moment. I think that's it for today. Is there any other questions left? You can publish them in comments, and today, tomorrow, we'll go through them with Anna, answer them, and I hope it was useful for you. Let me know now in the comments whether it was useful, put me plus or any other smile. And from my side, I wish you to really brainstorm and find something that is extremely appealing to you, that inspiring to personally you, and at the same time tackles the real issue, yeah, the real issue, so that you can create an impact and you can create a change.